All right, what is good, everybody? What is good? What is good? Let me share my screen so we can quickly get through this weekly watch list. I do that. All right, cool. All right, so I'm just gonna get into it real quick. The first one on my watch list is BLNK. The reason why I like Blink is because on a daily chart and on a weekly chart, it's forming higher lows, right? So we got higher lows over here. We got some higher highs over here. So it's a clear uptrend. If you look over to the left-hand chart, on the weekly chart, it finally broke out of that weekly downtrend, right? Last week, we put in a decent amount of volume to break the downtrend. So obviously, we need much more volume to come into it, but this is a very good sign, especially with the EV sector. Money starting to flow into the EV sector, as we saw with Lucid and with Tesla. So we're hoping that some of these kind of outside industries will catch a little bit of some of that sympathy. Now, if I switch this over to a monthly real quick. So Blink it's in the middle of a monthly bull flag, right? Massive flag pull, massive move up, and then just kind of slowly working its way down. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of forming a falling wedge also, which can be very bullish, which is very bullish. So let's see, and then it has support at this 382 Fibonacci level right here, just this area of support right here. And on the daily, it's sitting above the 50-day for the first time in about, looks like a month or two. Let's see. Yeah, since a few months, since July. It's the first time since July that it's up above the 50-day. So the target for me, the target would be this 200-day moving average. It's probably a magnet. So 36.11. I would take it at, I really needed to just trade in this area right here. Just show me that you can trade within this area right here. Hold on, let me just, let it stay above. Let it stay above this pivot right here. As long as it stays above that pivot at 3104, then I think that we can hit 36 relatively quickly with Blink. RSI looks, it's pointing straight up. The MACD is kind of coiling, chilling, waiting for a big move to happen. Right, one of these big swings, like one of these or one of these, right? And the TTM just fired to the upside. It was stable. It was stable for the past 4 days, and it actually fired on Friday. So hopefully we can continue that move to the upside. So I like BLNK. That's the first one on my list. The next one is Blackstone. I just wanted to quickly discuss it. These are the notes that I had from last week. It was on my watch list last week, and so I think, let's see, 5 days ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this on this day, I said, watch for it to give entry. Let's wait for the dividend payout. Typically around dividend payout, it either drops or consolidates. And that's exactly what it did. It fell right before dividend, and now it's kind of just chilling in that zone. We wanted to consolidate around 136 to take entry. And right now it's right at 138-ish. Let me zoom into a little bit. Yeah, so we're right at 138.59. So I mean, the perfect entry would have been here, even here. But I think that this little flag that is forming, or this kind of rounding structure that is forming here, is good for us to take entry to take it up to the upside. If you want to go super out the money, 165 is, I think, super out the money, but it's not unobtainable. I think we can get there at some point, right? Look at the monthly. The monthly is insane. I mean, it's just been on a tear all year. And it put in a crazy month, like a lower low and a higher high than last month. So I think BX is super bullish. This hanging man, I think that's what it's called. It's a little scary because it shows that there's kind of no buyers in this area. So I kind of want to see it continue to round out around this area. If I were to take a play on this, my support would be, let's call it right here. This would be my level of support right here. This 135, as long as it holds 135, I think it's super bullish. So I like BX. and it has no more catalyst. It's all done. So now it just can continue to rip. If you're interested in BX, then go ahead and go to their website and look at their holdings and see who they invest in, and that'll tell you all you need to know. I think they're big in housing, by the way. So the next one on the list is ChargePoint CHPT. I know we've played CHPT a bunch. I'm gonna go back to the monthly on this one. Yeah, I know we've played CHPT a bunch. And we might even have a play for CHPT already in the gold mine. But the reason why I like it is because it came down to a monthly demand zone, right? This is the demand right here. And it consolidated, it based, and then it just gapped, right? And so it did kind of it looks like a falling wedge into demand. So I have here 6% move or $1.65 move possible. And what I did was I measured from the top of this daily candle to pretty much where that 200-day is or where that trend line is. And it's going to give us, yeah, $1.60 or 6.42. So actually I'm going to bring it over to this pivot over here. So from here to this pivot, if you look to the left, this one right here, and it gives us, yeah, about $1.80, 7%. So there's a nice move. There's a nice move here before it fails again, right? It might just fail because it seems like it's a very strong falling resistance line. And then the 200-day is always a strong level to cross. So just keep an eye out for that. All the momentum indicators show bullish, right? We're bullish amongst all these three. And then I'm going to switch this over to the weekly. Yeah, we put in our first green candle on the MACD on the weekly, and we got that golden cross at the bottom here. So that means that we're gonna get an upside swing, hopefully. RSI is very stable, pointing straight up, and TTM is losing all bearish momentum. So we can play this right back to zero, right? Maybe a couple of weeks. So I really, really like this setup. So the trend, the resistance, and the 200 are the main things that we have to watch out for. Above this 200, I mean, we got all these stops over here that are going to get taken out. So the next level for me would be like 35 on ChargePoint. I really like this setup, by the way. All right, so the next one that I have is DG, Dollar General. I saw some chatter about Dollar General last week on Twitter, so it got on my radar from that. When I looked at it a few days ago, it had made this massive move and it was kind of consolidating over here. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday I was watching it. I think Tony mentioned it as well. And now, so it's making this flag. It's above the 50. It's holding above the 50, and it's at this major Fibonacci level. This is the 618 Fibonacci level. So this is a strong level to cross. So, I mean, I wouldn't take it until it's firmly trading above these levels here. Once it's above that 223 level, at that point, then it's like, all right, cool. Like once it's holding this level and you see it form a base at this level, then you can start to think about playing it into this gap up here and back to all-time high over here. I don't think that I have much of an analysis on this. I think that was it. I think it's just a flagging above the 50, which is enough, right? Flagging above the 50, right, at the Fibonacci, the key Fibonacci level for Dollar General. And it seems like they have earnings on the 9th. So you got about a month worth of run up. So you can watch it, wait for the setup to be better, maybe, and then from there get something that's a month out. So this might take a couple days to develop. The next one on my list is HUT. HUT is, if we look over to the left, it broke its previous high. Is that all-time high? Yeah, that's all-time high. So it's forming a new all-time high as of last week. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what this is here for. This is here for no reason. I think this is, I don't even know what that's there for, to be honest with you. But anyway, it did a double bottom on this support, rising support, which is way down here, right? We're looking for another one, but right now it's down here. So I was waiting for it to break this previous level, right? So you got the cup here, you got the handle to break. Right now it's consolidating at this level. A bunch of volume came in. Let's just look at the volume indicators real quick. Yeah, a bunch of volume came in on Friday's price action. It actually looks like they have earnings this week. Interesting. Yeah, so a bunch of volume came in. Their earnings is on the 11th, so next week. So we have enough time to catch a run up on HUT. Oh, that's why I have this green box. I wanted to trade at inside this box or above this box in order for me to take entry. Like find the base. I don't like things that go straight up. I don't like things that go straight up because you enter and then as soon as you enter, that's when it turns around on you. So what we're looking for is maybe 1 day of consolidation, or even if you go into like the intraday charts, right? Let's extend this out. You see how it kind of did, it based here, bounced, and it came and based again, and then it bounced. So we want to see like one more, like this. We want to see like one more of these. Just come back down and just tap it one more time. Tap it one more and give us the entry. And these are pretty relatively cheap. You can go for the 15 call and put some time on it, and I think it will pay. And actually, I think that some leaps will pay out on HUT. For those that don't know, this is a crypto sympathy. They're a crypto miner, just like Mara and Riot. Their business models might be a little bit different, but strong company. Let's see. And then ultimate support. So there's support right here at 12.15 ish, like right there. And then underneath that will be right here. That's my support, my 2 support levels for this. This is a really strong support. Look at all that volume on that volume show. Very, very strong support. We'll just switch this back. All right, cool. So that's HUT. The next one that I have is Micron. I believe there's a Micron player, or maybe you guys were playing Micron last week. I'm not too sure. I have a bad memory when it comes to that stuff. But what I do see is right now it's forming higher lows. We got some higher highs. We need to make another higher high before I can become fully confident. I think I actually put that somewhere. Yeah. So forming higher lows, right? So you can see the higher lows right here. Right. Forming higher lows. It's sitting at a crucial level. So it's down at a 382 level. So the crucial levels are these 3 right here: 618, 50%, and 38%. Those are the 3 strongest levels. According to Twitter, according to everyone who I've studied who trades with Fibonacci. So right now it's at a key level. So I mean, it might touch one more time, who knows? But usually this is a strong level, and if it's bullish, then this is a good place to hold that support. It needs to form a higher high to give me confidence. So we have the higher lows. We have this high over here. I just want to see one candle come up higher than that. Now, the only thing is that one candle is going to have to be above the 50 or at the 50, and it's going to have to be above this resistance, this falling resistance line. So that's the hard part, right? But if it can open and close above these 2 lines right here, then that's extremely bullish, and that's like extra confidence right there, right? I mean, obviously there's a bunch of traffic over here to the left that we got to get through, but give me a candle right here, and that's my higher high, right? That's your confirmation above the 50. That's another confirmation above that falling out of the falling wedge, above that falling resistance line. That's another confirmation. That's like super, like perfect setup. If you look at the momentum indicators on the weekly and on the dailies are bullish, right? We're at the 0 line. We're about to work our way to the upside over here. The RSI is pointing down, but I think that's still good. And again, RSI is one of those that I like, kind of like, it's like the very last thing. It's kind of an afterthought for me. MACD swinging to the upside right now. And then you see on the weekly, the MACD is approaching 0. That golden cross is coming soon, right? Maybe in another 1 or 2 weeks. RSI is pointing up, and it looks like there's plenty of room. And also the TTM is kind of just chilling, right? It's waiting for some strong bullish momentum. So this might take another week or 2 to develop, but really what I want to see is a close above this level here. So I'm actually going to I'm going to set an alert. Yeah, I'm going to set an alert right there. So once it crosses, I'll be alerted, and then we can start looking at it. That's what I like about MU. MU is one of my favorite setups too. Next one I have is XPEV. This is a beautiful setup. And the reason why I like this setup, I mean, obviously, you know, XPEVs in the EV sector, Chinese electric vehicles. They report numbers at the end of the month. So this might leave us immediately upon tomorrow's numbers, or I don't know if they're gonna come out tomorrow or Tuesday, but numbers come out probably this weekend. They have earnings in 2 weeks on the 19th, or 3 weeks rather. What I love about XPEV and what drew my attention to it was the inside day on Friday. And then you actually have kind of a funny looking pennant right there. Yeah, right there. So, I mean, I'm loving it. That's just clean. That's beautiful, right? It's just forming all these higher highs and higher lows. Right now, I mean, there's a small little gaps over here to fill, but I don't see it coming underneath. I really don't see it closing underneath the 45 level unless there's like some terrible news with delivery numbers. So with XPEV, if you want to go, then you can take it at the high of day. If you want a little added security, then you can take it at the high of the close of the open of the previous day. And if you want utmost security, then you take it above the previous high. And yeah, I mean, even if you gotta let this, you know, all this move happen before you have the confidence, because you can like, look what happened here. This previous high got taken out and people thought it was running, and a bunch of bulls got trapped right here and they got clapped, right? So, and then it just got chopped up in all this chop. So, well, you know, maybe this one is the best move. That dark black line, let's change it to green. Maybe that one is the best, right? So for my risky traders, if you want to go long, I mean, if you want to go super long, you could jump in tomorrow, right? But for anybody else, I would wait for it to break and hold. You know, if you want to play some shorter dated, or you want to play like November's, or even, you know, maybe I don't know. If you want some time on it, then it doesn't matter, jump in. If you want to play weeklies, then maybe I would say just let it break this, show strength, watch the volume come in. Let this turn back to light green, right? Let this turn back to dark green here. Let the RSI point up, and then you take your play. I really like XPEV though. Let's see. Yeah, I really like it a lot. I don't have too many more. Let's see. Okay, so now we're at the portion where I saw a few requests come in, and I saw and then that just led me down a little rabbit hole. So let's just go through these one by one. So as you know, we've played AAL a bunch. We always play AAL in the community. So AAL, so I see it like everyone in the market's pretty bearish on it. And I don't understand like fundamentally why the bearish sentiment. But you know, when the whole market, when everybody's leaning in one direction, usually it comes to fruition. That's just the way that these things work out. So so with AAL, I mean, I kind of see like a kind of a pennant flag situation forming. Now I also see lower highs, right? Here's one high over here. If you look at the weekly on the left-hand side, here's one high and here's the other high, right? Lower highs. We are making higher lows, but I think that the slope, the velocity of these lower highs are stronger than this little support here. We're currently trading underneath the 50-day moving average over here, underneath the 50-day moving average and underneath the 200-day moving average. Now, the only thing that's really saving AAL is that it's sitting on this kind of rising support level. But this level can, you know, this can be a very weak, this can be a nothing at the end of the day. Now, the last thing I want to point out is, yeah, I'm looking at it and it looks super bearish. So the last thing I want to point out is, let me turn this magnet off. Okay. Is like, it's like H, you know, and then dead cat bounce. Like, it's just like one more tap to get through, test it, and then continue. Now, where's that going to take us? I don't know. I mean, it looks like there's a little bit of a previous resistance here that might end up being a future support. So maybe that's what it's targeting. Yeah, so maybe that's what it's targeting. You know, 17-ish, 1750-ish. it does look very bearish. I mean, it's just like a bear flag that broke down, and it's just working its way. It's just trying to go further down. I'll let you guys. I mean, to me, the only other thing is like the MACD looks like it's losing bearish momentum on a daily, so it's ready to go back to that zero line. The RSI is flattening out. It's actually pointing up from down here, so there's plenty of this room here. And the TTM looks like it's losing momentum on the bearish side. So that's the only thing. I mean, I would just, it's like price action versus momentum indicators, from what I see. Now, while we're here, I actually want to look at the other airlines. Where are they? Let's look at DAL. I kind of see the same thing. I mean, it just looks like it's pretty much the same setup. Lower highs and higher lows, so it's just wedging. It looks like a bunch of taps over here, like a quadruple tap. Right? We got that one, kind of this one, kind of like it just keeps testing. So now you can look at this multiple ways. You can say this is a very strong support. The support line is indestructible, or you can look at it as like, all right, all those buy orders are getting weaker and weaker and weaker each time it hits this level. It really depends on your perspective, on your lens. These momentum indicators look exactly like AAL do, where strong bear momentum and now it's weakening, right? It's showing its first sign of weakness. Over here we're flat and this one's actually pointing down, so this might have a little bit more downside, or it might just turn around, right? Plenty of room up here. I mean, this is all the way at 35. That's approaching super oversold. And then if we look over here, momentum on the MACD slowing down, working its way back up to the zero line. So it's like a price action versus momentum indicators. Now, if people think this is a very strong support, then this might make a massive move. I don't know what the catalyst is for AAL anymore. They've all had earnings. They've all had a positive earnings, and yet they all sold off, right? So I don't know. I mean, I think it takes one more tap. Maybe it'll come down to test. It'll break down and maybe test. Let's see. A magnet. It'll break down and perhaps, I don't know, maybe test here. That's the bear case, right? Break there, break 38, whatever this is, 3880, 3883, work its way down to these levels. Break above here, test here. Those are your upside and downside levels for DAL. And AAL's, it's pretty much the same thing. Let me go back to AAL, do the same exact thing. I mean, we got break there, go there. And then, break that, comes down here. On the opposite side, break to the upside. And yeah, just about there. So depends on where you want it to go. I don't know where it's gonna go. With AAL. Next one is coin. I got some old. These are some Elliott waves that really didn't pan out the way that I wanted them to. They never pan out. Elliott wave is some bullshit, but when it works out, it works out nicely. Yeah, so let me remove. So with coin, and I'm doing these on the fly right now. So with coin, I see some lower highs and I see some higher lows, right? Let's do it from there. I don't want to be that aggressive. And do it from here. All right, so we got some lower highs and some higher lows forming a wedge. And actually looks like a bull flag to me. Right, massive move, flagging, consolidating, inside day on Friday, right? And what I mean by inside day is the range of Friday's price was within the range of the previous day's price. So when the range contracts like this, just like how you can see on this flag, when the range contracts, then usually it expands which means we're anticipating a break to the upside or the downside. Um, let's see. I mean, coin is, they have earnings coming up on the 9th. I don't know. There was some news that they got shut down the other day, or they shut or like people were buying Shiba so much that they broke Coinbase, and I don't know if there was a good reaction to that, but that's super bullish. The fact that they like had to upgrade their servers and stuff because all the users are jumping on to catch the craze. That's extremely bullish. I'm looking at the momentum indicators and they're kind of slowing down, but just because they're slowing down doesn't mean they're going to go to the downside completely. They're all kind of doing the same thing as the price action. They're all moving the same way. So no divergence there. So that's cool. I would like to see it come back to test this support line one more time. Maybe fake some people out, break down, fake some people out, stay here for a minute, and then work its way up. I mean, I'm bullish on this industry as a whole. We've been playing it since like back here, since the previous earnings, and all it's been doing is just kind of trading sideways for a minute, right? Like I traded within this range. Within this range here for a while, for a long time. And it finally broke out, and so there's no reason for it to come back down into this range. Like none. There's zero reason for it to come back into that range. Kathy's long on it. I think Jim Cramer's long. Everyone's long on it. So there's no reason why it's going to come back down to this level. I mean, if you bought it down here, you got it at a great price. Yeah, and then we have this previous resistance here, which will act as future support as it has here. So I mean, 3 levels of support right here, right? If it comes down here, then I would immediately smash the buy button. But yeah, just watch for it. I mean, it looks like a big move is coming out of it, especially for earnings in a week. So the next one on the list is Delta. We went through DraftKings. Now, okay, so with DraftKings, I mean, man. All right, so there's a few things here. There's this kind of rising support line right here, right? Now we have a rising support, but we also have like a kind of a flag. This is extremely ugly price action. We had some basing candles here to form a supply zone, and then we have this kind of flag. Where is it? Right there, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the best. Flag break, and then gap up. Like, I don't know what the hell happened here, but it gapped up from one day to the next, probably on news, and immediately just fell back down to that support level. So I don't know what's going on at this level here. It seems like a strong support. It's right back at it. It's even showing some buying pressure at the bottom of Friday's price action. Now, I was just about to say, like, if you look at the MACD, like, it's just getting tight. It's like squeezing. It's not as swingy as, as extended as this is, or even as this or this, right? Or even this. And I was gonna say it looks like it's consolidating. And then I look down at this, and it's the same thing. Like, it's just squeezing. Momentum's obviously slowing up, but if you guys know, TTM, the green is volatile and red is stable, right? So now we're stable. And if you look at the very last day in price action, we're stable with 2 green candlesticks. Oh, 3 green candlesticks. Look at that. It came down, and now it really went, right? It really went on that last day, and it's still stable. So it's firing to the upside. The momentum shows that it's bullish. So if we want to follow momentum, then that means that maybe this is another spot for it to bounce. I would wait to see exactly what happens on Monday if you want to enter. I wouldn't touch it below the open of the previous day for absolute safety. Take it above the high of the previous day, and then you could just play these levels all the way up. And I will be interested to see what the short interest is on this. If there's a high short interest, then all these stops here are going to get taken out. One good candle could take all these stop losses out. So I would watch for that. This is actually not a bad setup. It really depends on how strong this support is. If this support is very strong, then this is like a pretty ideal setup, because a lot of consolidation to bring the premiums down, to make this squeeze like this, and then we can get a massive move to the upside. So I actually like it much better to the upside than I do the downside. I see the 50 separating from the 200 to the downside, but I mean, one good candle could make this, could flatten this out. So just watch it. If you like upside, take it on, these are your levels here. If you want downside, then I would take it below the low of day, take it to here, to here. It's simple. I don't know if this support's going to break though, but actually I want to see something on this real quick. See where the volume is. Yeah, I mean, it's below the shelf. The next level is like down here, 44.73, right? Underneath that we have 42.50. So yeah, so it looks like the absolute next level of support is right around those two points I just added there. This is like your last level of support right here for DraftKings. And yeah, just watch out. They have earnings on the 5th, which is Friday. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that's DraftKings out. I mean, I'm more bullish than I am bearish. But you got your levels. Whatever you want to do, upside, downside, whatever your choice. World is yours. The next one is love. Love doesn't look like the others. It is forming higher, lower highs. I can actually bring these down way down here. And it's forming it's forming lower lows. And it's forming lower lows. Right now, if we look at, let's see, I just want to quickly analyze this because I already took a play in love. I'm long love. I'm in like a June play. I'm not sure if it's ready yet, so that's why I haven't called it out. But there's a demand zone right here, a weekly demand zone. It's not what I wanted. A weekly demand zone right there. And let's see. So we have a weekly demand zone, although we're still forming lower lows. I mean, it's a strong demand. Look how much kind of sideways consolidation was there before that massive move. Now we have 4 weeks of straight lower lows and lower highs, which is a possible machine gun pivot. I mean, I don't know. They call it 5 weeks, but it's all the same concept. If they're shorting airlines, then one candle could take all this price action out. Let me remove these here. Right, one candle could take all these shorts out. So I'll be watching for that. I mean, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I put time on it. I think I'm in a 60 call or something like that. But plenty of time on it. It was super cheap. IV's low, good earnings. I saw the reversal right here in demand, so that's what made me interested in it. It actually looks like it's forming an inside day. Is that an inside day? Yeah, that's an inside day. The high of this day was 47.43, and the high of this day was 47.42. So yep, inside day. And it's favoring the upside, and it was off by just a penny. So very, very, it looks very bullish. The fact that it's making lower highs, lower lows, and lower highs is terrible, right? But let's see. Let's see. When it's ready, I'll call the play out for love. But I'm already in. I'm already in with a couple contracts just to watch it. Next one is Oxy. Oxy. I'm looking at it on the weekly, and okay, so I drew a Fibonacci from, that's where it's from there, from the bottom of this candle to the top of this candle. When I saw the retracement, it bounced off the 786, 78.6 Fibonacci, and it worked its way back up to make a new high. It gapped on the daily. It gapped from the 22nd to the 25th, so over that weekend, and then it put in a high, and then it fell immediately. I think it was on news. You know, oil is one of those tickers and one of those sectors that's susceptible to news. This could be a potential supply zone here. Anytime that you see a ticker make a new high like that, you always, it just, if it makes a high and then it falls, you gotta know that there's some sell orders there that didn't get filled. So when it gets back to those levels, some of those sell orders that are sitting there automatically gonna get filled. Right now, it looks like it's bear flagging. It looks like it's doing one of these, a little bit of resistance, you know, something over here, and then actually let me pull that back a little bit, something like that. And then it looks like it wants to come back down to maybe test this level here, possibly, which would give us kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder scenario. Let me draw it out. Let's see. Shoulder, head, something like that. I mean, it's just, this is really ugly, but you know, we got to look out. This is going to be a very, very strong, this previous resistance here is going to be a very strong resistance to get through. Now, the other thing that I see for XLE, excuse me, for Oxy is a few things. Let me leave those as a potential reminder. So a few things I see with Oxy. The 50 is pointing straight up, right? We are forming, even though we're making lower highs on the daily, we're still in an uptrend, right? We're still maintaining this uptrend. It's not the cleanest, but we are maintaining this uptrend. I'll draw that as a channel. Let's see. Yeah. So we're kind of channel trading right now. We're kind of at the bottom of the channel, and we're on that rising support. And then the momentum's on the bear side, but it can turn around at any moment. Only thing is the signal and the MACD line are way above, and these, as you know, act as an RSI, so they might come back down. Now, the only other thing is they have earnings on the 4th, which is in 4 days, Friday or whatever. I don't even know what day that is. Let me see. Let's see, the 4th, yeah, Thursday. So they have earnings on Thursday. There's a lot of earnings this week, actually. So, you know, that earnings report might be really strong for them, but also it could be priced in by this massive move. They could have just priced all that earnings in already. So something to be aware of. It looks like it looks bearish to me. Bear flag, the bear flag looks more overwhelming than the channel, right? The head and shoulders looks more plausible than just, oh, I'm at the bottom of the channel, let me go make a new all-time high tomorrow. Like, I don't see that happening right now. I would let it consolidate and give us more reason to go to the upside. Right now, it looks bearish to me. It even made this new high and said, "Now we're gonna sell off." Like, that's bearish to me. You know. Let me look at the volume on these days real quick. I always want to see the conviction. On that massive selling day, a lot of volume. On the green day, the fake green day on Thursday, very, very low volume compared to the previous day. And on the type continuation day, a little bit more volume. So yeah, to me, it looks like it's going to just continue to work its way down to retest maybe this Fibonacci level at 32.53. So, and now that I'm on Oxy, I'm going to go ahead and look at XLE. XLE looks like it's doing the same exact thing. Obviously, they're in the same. XLE is the ETF that houses that sector. To me, right now, at this moment, it looks like it's doing. It wants to do something like this. Call it. I mean, the only thing is, the difference is with this is right now, it looks like it's trading within this really, really strong channel. This is the channel right here. This is the channel. And so what that means is as it's trading along this channel, you don't want to take anything unless you're positioning yourself for maybe December calls or January calls, or even like late November calls. But you don't want to take anything until it breaks out and gives us, breaks out, tests, and then says, all right, we're going to go up, or breaks down and tests and it says, all right, we're going to go down. You don't want to take anything before it gets out of the range. This is a very tight range. Now, what I would do if you're interested in playing Oxy is Oxy showing a little bit more strength than the sector is, but I would watch the sector to see what the sector does first to then tell you what Oxy is going to do as a whole, right? Because you don't want to play upside on Oxy if the sector, if XLE is giving you downside, right? Let's see where the moving averages are on this. Yeah, I mean, we're extended. We're super extended from the 50. Let me see if I could throw on some closer ones. Let's see. And I'm almost done, guys. Yeah. We're at the 9 and the 21's way down here. So maybe we come back to test 21 with that head and shoulders, test the 21, and then work our way back up, right? That seems like it makes sense to me. I mean, look how much consolidation there was in the moving averages here, and then look how spread they are now. Look how far this one is from the 200. Look at how close it was here, and look how far it is now. So I feel like this is going to come, it's going to slowly consolidate, let this 21 catch up, and then from there decide what it's going to do. On the weeks, the last 4 weeks, we were making higher highs each time and even higher lows. But last week's higher low was almost a breaking point. We did make that higher high and we almost engulfed this candle, the previous candle, with a bearish engulfing, almost. We didn't quite do it. So maybe it wants to just slow down and chill. It's been running, so maybe it just wants to slow down and chill. Look, this is like 1 week that Elliott wave pretty much almost played out. Final target is 63. It might take till December to get there, but yeah, maybe it looks bearish to me. Maybe it just needs to chill for a couple of days, 1 or 2 or 3 more days. See what earnings does for XO. What was it? Not XO. What was the other one? For Oxy, right? Maybe it needs to see what the results for earnings is going to be for Oxy. We have CVX has a dividend. I mean, CVX did well. They have a dividend on 2 weeks. CVX did well, so Oxy's probably gonna do well too. XOM did well also. So I mean, I don't know what the hell this red day was about, but watch XLE. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're all waiting for Oxy's earnings. Who knows? I don't know. Somebody who's watching this, just take a look at what the highest weighted sector is in XLE, and that'll give you your answer pretty much. All right, so the next one is PTON. Now, PTON, it's an interesting place because if I look right here, then it's giving me like cup and handle vibes, right? Let me get rid of all these. Get rid of these EMAs. It's giving me cup and handle vibes right underneath the 50. It's giving me higher lows, right? We like the higher lows. Let's see. It's giving me double bottom. Right, it's giving me double bottom right at very strong support. But the other thing that it's giving me is, and really what it's screaming right now is bear flag, a daily bear flag, right? If I were to draw, there's your flagpole I just drew, and if I were to draw some fibs on the bottom here, back to the top here, you know, it rejected immediately at that 50% fib, immediate rejection there, strong rejection. Came back down, and it looks like, I mean, it could be an H. It looks bearish because it couldn't make it above that 50, and it's still, so it rejected at the 50, and it also rejected at the 50-day. And it, you know, so those are key areas right there that needs to break out above before we can get bullish on it. I mean, you miss a majority of this move, like it can go back and test the 50, but I'm good. Like, it's gonna just be choppy. It is forming higher lows. It's still in a downtrend. It's in a massive downtrend from way over here. If you look at it on a monthly, it looks much different. You know, if you look at it on a monthly, it's just kind of like looks like maybe a falling wedge, or maybe it was an H that is bouncing, right? But if you look at it on the nearer terms, it just looks bearish. It just looks bearish. I mean, look at all the sell pressure on that weekly. A bunch of selling pressure. You put in a doji because it's deciding whether the sellers are deciding whether they want to buy it, they want to bring it down lower, or if this is a good price. And the buyers are wondering how strong the support is. So to me, it looks bearish. If you like it, then you can take, I mean, here are your levels. You know, break there. Those are your upside levels. The 50 is probably going to be one of those intermediate levels. And if you like the downside, then this looks like it's better in terms of risk reward to the downside. The reason why I say that, I mean, I don't know, because now I'm looking at it from a different lens. I see massive consolidation over here. I see just a massive consolidation over here, right? Just sideways choppy action. This is probably the real box right here. Consolidation, fell out of the box, it jumped right back in the box, traded sideways, jumped out of the box, came back down to test the box to maybe say, okay, good, I don't want to be back in there, let's go up. Maybe that's it. I really can't call it. I don't like the setup. It still looks extremely bearish to me, especially underneath the 50, especially with these higher lows, lower highs, especially with this flagpole. It looks, to me, it looks very bearish. I would take this to the downside, and if it doesn't give me downside, then I would just let it. I wouldn't do anything with it. I wouldn't do anything with it personally if it's not a downside play. If you like the upside, I would wait till it gets above 96.09. This is your most important level. 96.09 is your most important level. After that, you could take it to the upside. For me personally, because at that point it's already above the 50. The 50 is going to be flat at that point. You know, there's a lot of different things, and then it's above the 618 Fibonacci retracement. And the next strong level will be the 99, which coincidentally is you know, 15 points up is 100 points. It's a strong psychological level for PTON. So let me clean this chart up a little bit for you guys, actually. Oh, yeah. Okay, leave that trend line. Leave that trend line too. Leave that. Leave these. Now, I'm not going to close these out. I'll refer to them in the future when they become relevant again. These I'll get rid of. I'll just redo these, whatever. But the other ones I'll refer to in the future. I'm not in love with the setup, to be honest with you. You know, the only thing that's really saving the call side is there's what looks to be a weekly demand zone, way down here. So I mean, that's, you know, if it ever gets down there, then you could just go ahead and buy, throw it in your IRA. Also, they need to come up with new products. Like, what are they doing? Like, do they have anything? And the person who asked me for this, don't gamble with these. They have earnings on Thursday. I don't think that there's like, we should have gotten these last week, if anything. I don't think that this is worth the gamble. I don't think that this is worth the gamble personally. You know, if you like it, take it above this. If we miss it, we miss it. I mean, I'm not gonna touch this until it gets above here. I'm not touching it. I'll touch it to the downside, like I said. So, and in terms of actual earnings, I would be totally all out of the play. I mean, look at it on the weekly. It's a clear H forming, right? An H within an H. Boom. Here's one H, and then here's another little dead cat, little bounce, right? It's clear as day to me. So, I mean, that's what I see with it. If you want to take the calls and take it above, here's all your risky levels. If you want to go long, take it above the 50. Let's see, SQ, and then I just have Uber, and I'll do actually real quick. All right, so SQ, another one that has earnings this week. I like how it's consolidating. I like where it's at right now. It's been swinging. Like, look at this big ass green candle, big ass red candle, big ass green candle, gap up, doji, big ass red candle, big ass, like that's wild. The only thing that I can say is, get rid of this. Now it bounced off the 50-day on the weekly. It looks like with all the sell pressure, let me actually get rid of all these drawings. With all the sell pressure on these last 2 weeks, all this sell pressure up here, it looks like it wants to come back to retest that 50, which happens to be right around the 200-day, like right around here in this spot right here. It also looks like it's doing one of these. Right. So I mean, I don't know if it's gonna make it all the way back down here. That'll be the extreme case, but that's one thing potentially. On the bull case, I mean, I see, or that is a bull case. On the bear case, well, short-term bear, long-term bull, right? Because it would come down to back to the 200 to then bounce. It is consolidating pretty tightly with some really ugly price action. Imagine like if you would have bought calls here and sold here, then you would have been great. But imagine like going long here, you're gonna get killed. Even on this day, going long here, you're getting killed. Like, you're just getting killed in this play. Like, there's no reason to be in this play right now. There's no reason to be in this play right now. And that's probably a byproduct of the fact that they have earnings this week. Like, it's just choppy and nasty. Now it's wicking off the 50, so it could be maybe base here and then work its way back up, right? Like give us a zone right here, like trade within this zone right here for a day or two, and then work its way back up. But I mean, this is earnings, so I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. The thing where we know how earnings goes. We're not gonna touch this one, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna have great numbers, and then they're gonna go back to the 200 day. They're gonna have terrible numbers, and they're gonna go to all-time high. Like, who knows? Next one I have is Uber. Now, Uber gapped up, and it still has this gap right here that, for whatever reason, it hasn't come back down to test. Right. Let's see. So Uber has that little gap. It still has to. It doesn't have to do anything with it, to be honest with you. It doesn't have to do a thing. It's just there. Just know that it's there, right? And then right now it's wicking off the 50. It's some small little buyers here at the 50. So same thing. Let's look for consolidation. Now they have earnings when? Tomorrow, the 4th, Thursday. Another one that has earnings on Thursday. So somebody's gambling. I don't know. I mean, you could take it. You could take it here. You know, buy it as long as if tomorrow's price action shows us some basing at any of these levels, then yeah, go for it. I mean, have at it. Have at it. What do you want me to tell you? Let's see. I don't know my oh, because it's sorry for all the noise. That's why. Okay. And it's how'd that even happen? Yeah. So just look for some basing around this, just within this box right here. Like just like two 30-minute candlesticks trading at or above this box is enough for me to say, all right, buyers, let's jump in. Now they do have earnings, so again, if you wanted, you could just watch people buying it, like watch the buyers. Um, if you're in our server, then go ahead and look through the channel, the flow channel, and see if there's any call buying, see if there's any volume, any buying pressure within those our AI suite. If you see it, then take it for a weekly, take a day trade, or take an overnight swing if you're risky. But again, earnings on Thursday, so in and out. Don't let them take your money. We're giving away too much money to market makers. We can't let them take all our money. We need some money to for upcoming Christmas season for our kids. It looks. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna do. Like it looks like it did a head and shoulders and fell. Is the fall over? I don't know. Right? No, I don't want it from there. That's extreme. Here, left shoulder. Yeah, neckline right there. Whatever. Head, and then right shoulder. Head and shoulders, clear as day. Now, is it done? Maybe. I don't know. We got to see what it does around this area. If you want to buy puts, buy below this line here. If you want to buy calls, you can probably, this is a little bit risky. The safer entry would be at the break of the open of the day, would be the safer entry for Uber. And the catalyst is earnings. And you already know how I feel about earnings. So that's that. Last one is XLF. I always like to look at financials. Financials always give it's just something. It's one of those things that you should always just constantly have on your watch list to kind of see what's going on. Now we've been forming higher highs for 6 weeks in a row, 7 weeks in a row, 8 weeks in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2 months in a row forming higher highs. And we did form a lower low here, but now we're forming higher lows, with the exception of this 1 week. I think that was maybe an earnings week, right? So it looks like it is. Just draw a fib on this real quick. I want to see something. Yeah, I mean it gapped down and it held at 786 Fibonacci. Hold on, this is too high up. There we go. It gapped down and it held that 786 Fibonacci, and then it down, up, down, testing it. Some buyers here. So with this, we want to see people stepping in to buy around here. Now, the thing with this is we don't know like how the market's going to open tomorrow. It could open up below this level. It could open up above this level. So, what I like is I like to watch it base or test around this box. This above this fib level is where I drew my box, so it can tap, 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 and then work its way back up. I see a potential bull flag. Right? Why is this yellow? What's going on? I see a bull flag. I'll do it to there because I want to do this. Yeah, so I see a bull flag there. The price action is getting super tight. So, you could take it at the break of the flag, or you could take it at the break of maybe if you find the basing at this level, then take it. Break of this level, take it, take it. Let me see. Let me get rid of this. This fib right here. This is from, I don't know where this fib is from, but anyway, this Fibonacci level right here. Oh, it was from high. I think this, yeah, from this high to this low. And these are my upside targets. And they line up pretty well with the most recent one the one that we just drew right now. So I would say that 4086 is a magnet. Above that, we can get to 42 pretty quickly, 44, 46, et cetera, et cetera. There was one more that I had on my list that I didn't get to talk about. Is it this one? Yeah. It's this one. This is one of my favorite setups. I don't know why I didn't. This is why I didn't make it to my list. SOFI. You could tell, and the reminder that I have for SOFI was I went on their website real quick to see. I wanted to find out about their earnings, and I ended up on their website. But yeah, SOFI. So here's the reason why I like SOFI, and this is my favorite setup for the entire week right here. It's breaking out of the monthly pennant. The pennant has started forming since IPO, and so here's the pennant, and it's finally breaking out with conviction. If you look at, so we're on the weekly chart now. I'm going to switch it over to my volume study, and the highest volume ever came in on the break of the pennant, right? So that's very, very important. The highest volume came in on the break of the pennant. So that's conviction. That's what I call conviction right there. Now it's consolidating at a new resistance. So you can see that I drew these lines kind of rudimentary. You know, they're not like the cleanest lines. They're not at the very top of these wicks. So I went ahead and drew a fresh set on the daily on the right-hand side. And you can see that it's just a new falling resistance. Boom, sold off, boom, sold off. And right now it broke and it's kind of consolidating right around that resistance. Same thing that it kind of did here, but then it fell really hard. The difference though over here between here and here is, look at the volume. There was like no volume except for when all the sellers came in and sold it off. And here all the sellers came in and sold it off on this 1 week. Even this crazy massive sell-off week, there was not a lot of volume. Over here, the break is the convicted move, is so strong to the upside. Look at all that volume, the most volume that ever came in. Now, the same thing could happen where it could just fall off and come back and maybe test a 200 or test a 50, but I just see it kind of slowing down, chilling. Even on like decreasing volume, there's still some buyers up here to keep the price up here. I like this move for an upside. I like it for an upside move. We have earnings on the 11th, which is 2 weeks. So now is a perfect time to position yourself. You can go for the 25, maybe December 25s, or even November 25s, December 30s, or maybe even January 30s, right? If you like it. But whatever, like this big ass box that SOFI is trading in, it's going to work its way out of it by the end of this year, for sure, 100% in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have for you guys. I'm sure there's a bunch of other setups. What was that? Oh, XLK. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of other setups that the market will give us. But for now, that's what I have. I don't want to take too much time. So yeah, if you're not a member of Gold Rush, we're offering a free membership for 1 week. Visit goldrushgang.net/memberships. And it is your job to make your monthly premium back with one of our plays. And you'll do it. I mean, if you pay attention, if you have a pulse, and you'll be able to make some money with us. We have a nice strong incubator. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy, guys. Peace.